Matt Eberflus needs to get fired. The Bears on a 2-game losing streak right now. They just lost on the Hail Mary to the Commanders, and then this week they get absolutely throttled by the Arizona Cardinals. And I think the play that just sums it up is right before half, allowing a 65-yard rushing touchdown with 10 seconds left on the clock.
I think there was a stat that was the longest
touchdown run with that much time left before half. Something that's never been done before is what they did. And to me, that's just coaching and not being prepared and your guys not being prepared. And we see it with all these guys. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson not being prepared for the moment in the Hail Mary. That's coaching. What does Dean love to say? Accountability, yada, 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 yada. It's not being prepared for the moment. Calling a fullback dive to an offensive lineman with the game on the line is horrible. I know could have won your award, but he's not the one calling offensive plays, but you're the one that authorizes that shit as the head coach. And then again, in this week, just getting absolutely dicked down the way you did was embarrassing. And, you see all the DJ Moore stuff. I mean, DJ Moore
I was about to say that.
Just all year, just running routes like he just does not give a fuck. I mean, I'm done. The same way I feel about Aaron Rodgers is the way I feel about DJ Moore. Like, just stop being a fucking diva and play the goddamn sport. You're getting paid all this fucking money. Go out there and fucking play like you mean it, bro.
It's so weird because he's never been one to be like this. Ever.
I just don't get it. Just go out there
balling out in Carolina for no reason. Like,
coming
for
off
no
a
good
career year, bro.
With horrible quarterbacks.
Just go out there and fucking play, man. And I mean, even Caleb, I have a bunch of stats, but I don't even really care to read them off. Like, Caleb has not been good over the past few weeks.
Bad.
He's been dog shit. And as much as everyone wants to blame it on the offensive line, I was looking on the PFF. They're a top 12 unit in terms of pass blocking and run blocking, according to PFF. And I know PFF isn't the end-all, be-all, but according to PFF, their offensive line is not as bad as it seems. Caleb Williams' flaws from USC are translating here. He's holding on to the ball forever. He's not taking his check down. So the laundry list goes on and on. The route combinations that this team runs sometimes. I saw Theo Ash post one. It was DJ Moore running a speed out like he's a 70-year-old grandpa. That's Caleb's first read. So the next read is over the middle of the field, right to left. Keenan Allen's on a choice route. It's man coverage, so he should take that across the field to be Caleb's second read. Instead, he finds a spot and sits as if it's fucking zone coverage. Like, I just don't. How do you not know what route to run? If it's a choice, Keenan Allen, one of the smartest, savviest receivers in the league, how do you not make the right choice there? It's a dumpster fire of play calling. It's a dumpster fire of holding guys accountable. And it's a dumpster fire of development within the organization. The defense is cool and fun, but even they've taken a few steps back these last few weeks, and they're not as dominant as they should be. They got gashed in the fucking run against the Cardinals. Absolutely fucking embarrassed
been good against the run
by DeMarcado. I mean, come on. What the hell are we doing?
And Connor.
Yeah, James Conner is a
Connor
dog.
will do that there.
James Conner's
a dog, yeah. But DeMarcado, I mean, what the hell are we doing? And
I can't do that.
I mean, Matt Eberflus his record is terrible since he's been taken over as head coach. He clearly authorized bringing in Shane Waldron, who fucking sucks as an offensive coordinator. And again, Matt Eberflus is clearly losing the locker room. I mean, DJ Moore was on the phone today. They were asking him, do you think Matt Eberflus lost the locker room? He didn't just say no. He said, I'd like to believe he didn't. Like, what? That's what you're saying about your coach? I mean, come on. Like, he lost the locker room. You have a guy who's supposed to be the franchise savior. Again, what have we? Something we've been preaching all year. At the end of the day, organizational incompetence trumps all. And the Bears are an incompetent organization. They employ an incompetent head coach. They went out of their way to employ an incompetent offensive coordinator, and that is the reason why Caleb Williams looks like the worst starting quarterback out of this rookie draft class. Caleb Williams, the number one pick, the surefire, can't-miss prospect, looks worse than Bo Nix. That is embarrassing, and sure, we could put some blame on Caleb Williams because he's not doing his part, but at the end of the day, organizational incompetence trumps all. Matt Eberflus needs to be fired before the season ends. You need to show these guys that you are not incompetent organization, that you could cut your losses, that you can make your loss before it's too late. Do that shit early, like you always say. The good organizations move on from their mistakes. They realize they made a mistake, and they move the hell on. Show your guys that you are willing to move on and find the right guy. Ben Johnson will be available again this offseason. Go make sure you get Ben Johnson to be the head coach of this football team at all costs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You give Ben Johnson a blank check.
Or
That's it.
if you're not even going to do that, hire a guy that's going to hold people accountable and hold firm to the culture. I firmly believe that any head coaching opening that becomes available, I think Mike Vrabel should be
I
up.
was going to say the same
Fuck
thing.
Mike Vrabel.
No, but
no.
I think he should
Because they
always be
But
involved.
these guys need a modern NFL. Like Mike Vrabel is a great coach and a great leader of men, and sure he'll hold guys accountable.
But think about how many people are going to want to be on his staff.
Sure,
That's the difference.
yeah, but no. This team with Caleb Williams, the generational quarterback, with the damage they've done to him this year already, with how bad he's playing this year already, they need an offensive mastermind to be his best friend, to be the head coach of this team, to be the guy that turns this. It's Ben Johnson for this team. I think Mike Vrabel will be a great head coach again. I think he is a great head coach. I think a lot of teams will be lining up to get him. Not this team. This
Boggles
team.
my mind. He doesn't have a head coach.
Yeah, I completely agree. Mike Vrabel is a great coach, like a phenomenal coach. And again, any team would be lucky to have him. For this team, it's Ben Johnson or bust. That's how I feel about it. You give Ben Johnson the blank check.
Yeah.
You need someone to be the head coach of this. You need an offensive passing master. Like Mike Vrabel puts out great offenses, sure, but he had Derrick Henry and he had Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
You know, it was a running culture. That's not what this team needs. Sure, they need culture that Mike Vrabel builds, but they need, with the way Shane Waldron is calling plays right now, again, with the game on the line, a handoff to the offensive lineman is ridiculous. But it's Ben Johnson or bust for me.
So I'm going to throw a crazy idea out there. And Ryan Poles, formerly the assistant GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm pretty sure. I actually love Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears. The talent that he added this offseason was phenomenal. All the moves he made were praised heavily. Mm-hmm. So I think I don't know if this happens for sure, but a previous Bears head coach is back in Kansas City and has ties to Ryan Poles. His name is Matt Nagy.
No, you don't do that again.
I agree, but this is a new regime. It's not the same people in place.
You just don't do that.
I'm just saying.
You
I'm
don't
just
do that.
saying.
No
You
shot.
don't do that.
I'm just throwing it out
It's
there.
Ben Johnson or bust
I agree.
for this team.
And
With the talent that Caleb Williams is, it needs to be Ben Johnson.
I'll say this real quick, too. I think Eberflus sucks. He doesn't sound especially good. He doesn't handle the media all that well. I'm sure, going to talk about some of the answers that he's had and stuff like that. I just want to say Caleb Williams also, like you said, has really not been good. I saw a stat that had the top 10 players of most off-target, whatever it was.
3 guys in the top 10.
3 of the top 10. 6,
That's
8,
ridiculous.
and 10, I think.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Part of that is also offensive game plan. We all knew Shane Waldron sucked. This is not new. We all knew Shane Waldron was ass because he did the same thing in Seattle. He was horrible there. He's horrible everywhere he's been. So I don't understand why this was the hire in the first place.
Terrible staff, top to bottom.
Or atrocious staff, top to bottom. And I think they'll fix this. I think Ben Johnson is the right move. I do agree with the offensive weapons you have.
There's no reason for this team to be a bottom 10 offense in basically every offensive statistic this year. I'm not saying they have to be the best, but bottom 10 in basically every major statistic besides PFF blocking stats is ridiculous.
At least they have a good O-line.
Right, but that's the problem is that the best team stat for this team is their blocking. Their
That's
biggest
been the most
weakness.
criticized, too, from people.
Their biggest weakness that everyone thought is their best stat, basically. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, you guys pretty much hit everything. The offensive disaster, yes, but it's a culture disaster. I mean, Matt Eberflus, that's what I was looking at. I didn't realize it would be like everyone looking at me when I was trying to listen to it. But the quote pretty much was, he was coming out of halftime. I forget what the score is, and they asked him, like, what are you going to do about it? And he was like, the score is what it is, but at least we have each other. That's what he said. What the fuck does that mean? What the hell does
It means
that mean?
at least to have each other.
Yeah, sure.
He's just happy to have a job.
But you just like,
Granted, I will give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in that scenario because when they're coming back onto the field after halftime and those sideline reporters interview them, a lot of times, I mean, Greg Popovich is notorious for this, just saying some bullshit to basically
yeah, but Greg
get him
Popovich is Greg Popovich.
Yeah, I know, but like a lot of in that scenario, a lot of coaches kind of just give a shut the hell up.
Yeah,
and
but
leave
at
me
least
alone
we
type
have
of
each
answer.
other is a
It's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like they'll say,
it's
yeah, we
crazy,
made
it's crazy.
adjustments and we're ready to go for the second half.
The guys just
say that.
The team just isn't bought in. Like you mentioned, DJ Moore walking off the field mid-play. And then, a lot of people are on saying that he couldn't be eligible to catch a pass, whatever, because he went out of bounds. The guy didn't watch the play. He went to the bench.
Yeah.
It said drives over. Like, not bought, and just guys just aren't bought in, just aren't doing their jobs, and that always starts with coaching. And this guy needs to lose his job.
Keenan Allen like dropping balls and not running the right routes, and it's like that's Keenan motherfucking Allen. Like,
it's one of the greatest receivers of our generation.
Right, like if he's older and his injuries caught up to him and his athleticism isn't there anymore, whatever. But like making wrong decisions,
that hasn't even
what,
been the
right,
problem.
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
like that's
with
not
Keenan.
what Keenan Allen's issue.
like
should be.
there's no reason that Rome Odunze should be the best receiver on this team right now. There's no reason.
Well, he's a
for it.
dog.
He is a dog, but there's no reason that in year one, given what we thought of this Bears team going in, that he should be the best. And he is, like the stats don't say it, he is the best receiver on this team right now.
Yes.
He's playing the best football on this
is.
team right now. DJ Moore's a diva, and Keenan Allen just freaking stinks and is fat.
tough.
And Caleb stinks.
Bad
Like
combo.
I love Caleb, but he fucking stinks right
He
now.
had a good run against shit defenses. All right, call it what it is.
Yeah, he did.
Played well against terrible defenses.
You know, you would have
The
expected.
thing is, the Commanders'
positive.
defense was supposed to be terrible when he played them 2 weeks ago. They shut him the
did
hell
shut him
down.
down.
The Cardinals' defense is not. Cardinals' defense had a career day. Like the whole entire defense.
They've had a
Cardinals are
little
so
stretch right now.
confusing.
Their defense
I
had-
love Jonathan Gannon.
No, I
love
like John Gannon too, but they had like the best defensive day they could have possibly had.
100%, yes.
Like it's embarrassing. They're embarrassing themselves, the Bears. Like I love Jalen Johnson. That's my dog. He's the best corner in the league, but everything else, no bueno.
They stink.
85,
Remember all the
baby.
Super Bowl hopes the Bears fans had going into the season?
Did Nick Wright say they were going to the Super Bowl?
Nick Wright said they were going to the Super Bowl.
He did, yeah, he did.
85, baby.
So,
What did the Migos say in that song?
Mama
17,
told
5,
me.
same color. T-shirt.
White.
Yo, was 17 on the field on Sunday, bro? Where was he? In the end zone.
He might have been on the field.
No,
but
he
I
was
just
on the
knew.
field.
All I know is the bank was open on Sunday.
Bank was open on Sunday.
Bank was wide open.
The bank's always open.
You could have
these
ran
days.
in there.
17, 5, same color.
The bank don't close. man.
Mama.
We got to do a segment on specifically him because what the fuck is his?
Deontay Banks,
What is his problem?
he's bad at football.
But why out of nowhere?
Because he had the. It's like. So imagine this scenario.
oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Imagine this
Hit
scenario
him with it.
where
Paint a picture.
Why'd you do this?
Bronny James gets drafted to the Clippers. And then the Clippers play the Lakers. And Bronny James on the Clippers has to guard his father, LeBron James. That's the equivalent of Deontay Banks trying to guard Terry McLaurin.